What if I were to tell you there's a town in New England where it's always Halloween? Salem, Massachusetts is a remarkable and historic place where witchcraft, hauntings, and everything that goes bump in the night feels right at home. The serene and beautiful coastal town makes for the perfect day trip destination if you're visiting Boston, but you could easily make an entire trip out of your visit if you prefer. Salem was made famous, or rather infamous, by the Salem Witch Trials in 1692. The town is particularly popular during fall thanks to the Halloween holiday and the gorgeous fall foliage that can be seen throughout Salem's various neighborhoods and parks. Aside from historical attractions that include live reenactments of the trials, Salem is also known for its phenomenal period architecture and top-notch museums. There's also a variety of wonderful bookshops, boutiques, and cafes to do business at in town as well. So join Viewcation as we go over the best things to do in Salem, Massachusetts. The House of Seven Gables. Constructed in 1668 for Captain John Turner, this opulent waterfront mansion historically was the home to 3 generations of the Turner family, before it was sold to Captain Samuel Ingersoll in 1782. Following his death, the house was inherited by his dearest daughter, Susanna Ingersoll. Susanna's cousin was famed author Nathaniel Hawthorne. He visited her here frequently, and the property ended up becoming the setting of his world-famous 1851 novel, The House of Seven Gables. While officially the estate is called the Turner-Ingersoll Mansion, the home quickly became known for the name that Hawthorne had given it. 112 years ago, it was opened up as a public museum. The museum's wealthy founder, philanthropist Caroline Emerton, envisioned the home would be preserved for generations, and proceeds from it would help fund settlement programs for migrant families. These days, the museum continues to uphold her wishes by providing funding to social work programs while offering the public various kinds of educational programs, including English classes and community outreach conversations. Visitors to the museum can relish the opportunity to see period features that span 4 centuries. A few of these include a hidden staircase that leads to the attic, several pieces of centuries-old furniture, and the home's original Georgian paneling. In addition to the mansion, the property is also the home of 6 historic buildings that sit along Salem Harbor. Some of these include the Hooper Hathaway House, the Counting House, the Retire Beckett House, and the birthplace of Nathaniel Hawthorne. There's also a visitor center and museum store where you can nab a souvenir before you leave. The Peabody Essex Museum. With a rich history dating back to the founding of the East India Marine Society, a band of Salem-based sea captains who, according to their 1799 charter, vowed to establish a cabinet of natural and artificial curiosities, this Salem Museum is certainly one of a kind. It started off as a collection of items brought back to Salem from the captains as they traveled about the world. Today, many of these objects have been carefully preserved for your viewing pleasure. Salem has long been a place deeply connected with its maritime roots. Over the centuries, it gained a reputation for its salted cod and other offerings. Traders as far as the West Indies once heard of Salem, and as such, it became an almost legendary place to some abroad. After the American Revolution, ships from Salem voyaged as far as Russia, China, and India, thus cementing the town's legacy as a maritime hub for generations. Quite a few artifacts from this time period are housed at the museum. There's also a fantastic collection of Asian art. The Salem Witch Museum. The Salem Witch Museum, while a bit sensationalized and touristy, is without a doubt the premier expert in the region on the events that led up to and followed the witch trials of 1692. The museum opened its doors in 1972 after the writings of Arthur Miller, particularly The Crucible, brought heightened awareness of the Salem Witch Trials. Today, visitors from all over the world come to see a dramatic recreation of the event as told through the use of trial documents and illuminated set pieces to narrate the macabre tale. After guests view the reenactment and hear a bit more about the history and aftermath of the trials, the remainder of the tour focuses on modern witchcraft and the Wiccan religion, as well as subsequent witch hunts that have occurred in the past 4 centuries. While the subject material discussed is a bit on the dark side, the museum is appropriate for guests of all ages. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. The Satanic Temple at Salem Art Gallery. As the worldwide headquarters of the organization that calls itself the Satanic Temple, this space is precisely what it sounds like. Now, understandably, many visitors would scoff at going to such an establishment given their religious sensibilities. By no means is this a destination everyone will appreciate, but those who are ever in search of odd curiosities, this pseudo-religious space dedicated to the Lord of Darkness is one such oddity better experienced in person. The TST's centerpiece is their 8.5-foot statue of the pagan deity Baphomet. The statue has gained a bit of notoriety in recent times, as the temple has frequently offered to loan it out to several state capitol buildings that display Christian figures. Arguing that the Constitution protects all faiths and religions equally, the Satanic Temple believes that Christian statues displayed on government grounds should be accompanied by those that represent other faiths as well. In addition to the half-goat, half-human statue, the temple also doubles as an art gallery that displays a number of other pieces dedicated to the left-handed path. Witch House. Not to be confused with the genre of electronic music popular in the late 2000s, this witch house once belonged to the notorious Judge Jonathan Corwin. While no witch ever lived there, the structure is the only one that still stands in Salem that has a direct tie to the witch trials of 1682. So it's a must-see stop for anyone interested in learning about Salem's history. Located on the corner of North and Essex Streets, this ominous mansion has a rather dismal history. During the witch trials, Judge Corwin was one of the judges who presided over the examinations of citizens accused of witchcraft. Now the house has been turned into a public museum and considered one of the town's most haunted locales. As legend has it, the spirits of those that Judge Corwin sent to their deaths supposedly still haunt it. Explore Salem's historic cemeteries. Howard Street Cemetery and the Burying Point are the two primary cemeteries most often associated with the victims of the Salem Witch Trials. The Burying Point is notable for being the oldest cemetery in the region and even one of the oldest in New England. The grassy area is a great place to go to reflect on and pay your respects to the many killed during those grisly years. You can see gravestones that date back to the 1600s. You can even see the burying site of one of the Mayflower passengers. Over at Howard Street Cemetery, you can visit the spot where one of the trial victims, Giles Corey, was apparently put to death by being pressed by heavy stones. Both cemeteries are fairly easy to visit as you walk around town. Salem Maritime National Historic Site. Noteworthy for being the first National Historic Site in the country, Salem Maritime National Historic Site boasts a collection of 12 historic buildings and structures set along the harbor. Established in 1938, this coastal park preserves the site of one of the most important American ports of the late 18th and 19th centuries. At the site, you can see historical places such as the Hawks House, Derby Wharf, the Custom House, the Narbonne House, and the beautiful Colonial Revival Garden. Additionally, it includes the Salem Armory Visitor Center and the Waite and Pierce Park gift store. Now it's time to hear from you. Have you ever been to Salem, Massachusetts? Do you think you'll go one day? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.